This weekend, the British boxing fans have a domestic heavyweight clash to look forward to, provided nobody stubs their toe or there is a pullout for any due reason, since this seems to be a reoccurring issue in current times. So fingers crossed this is taking place. We've got the likes of Fabio Wardley fighting Frazer Clarke, and it looks to be an exciting scrap, since this has a cocktail of trolling, aggravation, and respect mixed into one, as well as fighting for the British title, which is going to be on the line thanks to Fabio Wardley. I think both characters are similar to some extent in how they carry themselves, but at the same time, they've come from very different backgrounds within the boxing circuit. So we're not talking about their personal life and what they've had to go through, but on one hand, we've got an Olympic pedigree, fought for Great Britain. He was like team captain, team GB, team captain in Frazer Clarke. And then on the complete polar opposite of the spectrum, we've got Fabio Wardley, who's come up through a very unconventional means of white collar boxing. And for those who aren't aware of white collar boxing, this is just literally a step up from a pub fight. You're just got some rules around it. So to go from that to being managed by Dillian Whyte, who I must say has managed his career very well. I think he has taken the correct learning fights at the right time. He has gambled when he's needed to gamble and come through those fights with flying colors. He has looked great in doing so. And now he's gotten himself a record of 17 wins and 16 knockouts in the pro circuit. My actual prediction of who wins the fight is leaning towards Fabio Wardley, simply because in the pro circuit, he is the more experienced individual, which is funny to say given their backgrounds are so vastly different. But Frazer Clarke has been almost nurtured in a very slow manner, given that his age is up there compared to other heavyweights. You'd think they would try to fast track him, especially with his Olympic pedigree. But it seems like Sky and Boxer have attempted to grow him via marketing more on the Sky platform than his actual fights allow him to proceed with. Whereas Fabio Wardley, on the other hand, has been in with the likes of Eric Molina, who again is not some kind of world title dominating factor, but he has been in there himself with the likes of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So he brought a very strong element of experience into a fight with Fabio Wardley, who needed all that he can while building up his foundation. He then had a fantastic rivalry between Queensberry's David Adelaide, and that was marketed on the Saudi Arabia undercard of Tyson Fury's fight. So that was seen by a lot of people. His stock definitely rose after that fight. So you've got a good mix of where they are in their careers. And even though on paper it looks like Fabio Wardley is further ahead, he in fact has no such amateur background that Frazer Clarke did. So it almost balances one another out. Another reason I'm going with Fabio Wardley is because he comes across a lot more confident. I think the experiences he's had and the media he's been in front of has allowed him to build this confidence, which he naturally seems to already have. In all of his interviews, he comes across so polite that even when he's disrespecting you, it sounds really nice when he's doing it. He articulates himself pretty well. He comes across well-mannered, but then he'll say some stuff where it's like, I'm pretty sure he's being rude right now, but he's got it with a smile on his face. Whereas Frazer Clarke, I'm not saying is going to crumble under pressure, because again, he has been through stuff which Fabio Wardley can't relate to. When you're fighting for Great Britain and you are a Team GB captain and you are fighting in front of the thousands around the world who are watching the Olympics, you've got a level of pressure on your back that you are now adapting to. And he's also been in the amateur ranks where he's been able to spar or fight against the likes of Anthony Joshua, Joe Joyce. So he's had some good exposure and good experiences himself without applying that in the pro game. But I must say what I have seen from both of them in the pro is the fact that Frazer Clarke seems to be a little bit more feather-fisted. And I know that sounds disrespectful and these guys are heavyweights, but if you're not the best mover, then you have to have something that actually shines a lot more to squeeze the gap a little bit when it comes to fighting elite and world level fighters. But Frazer Clarke doesn't seem to have none of that on his side. He's not exactly a plodder, but he's not the best mover. He's not the heaviest hitter. His ring IQ might be great because of the experiences he's had. But then we look at Fabio Wardley, who has proven himself and he believes in himself because of what he's proved. He's seen that whenever push comes to shove and it seems to not be going his way, the guy turns Super Saiyan 3 and just flips it on the other person without any hesitation. There is many examples where in the heavyweights, okay, it's fantastic to be able to move and have that kind of experience and ring IQ. You need to be able to understand how to go against a southpaw, an orthodox. See what I'm getting at? You need some experience to understand how to tackle your opponent, but when you're both exactly the same dimensions and you need something a little extra about yourself, I would much rather lean towards the guy that has shown to be slightly more heavier handed and actually bite back when it comes to it than the person who has not had that kind of experience. So I'm hoping Frazer Clarke has the bit between his teeth to want to prove to people and not come in just to try to jab and outbox Fabio Wardley. It looks like this could actually be a genuine scrap where they enter into the ring, meet halfway, and then go at it. So I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'm leaning towards Fabio Wardley coming out with the win, and I think the win would be by stoppage. Not to say that Fabio Wardley can't outbox Frazer Clarke, but at this level, I think the more complete fighter in terms of his skill set, if he stays behind the jab, plays it safe, would be Frazer Clarke. I don't think it's going to come to that, and I think egos are going to get in the way of this one. I don't think anyone's going to be cool-headed during the entire 12 rounds of the fight, so I'm going to go with Fabio Wardley pushing him into the later rounds and then taking him out. So do let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Do click that thumbs up as it does help support the channel, and I will see you on the next video.